Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. So, we are going after Switzerland to take them as a protectorate, which I think will work and will have no negative consequences, and no one tell me it will. Allow progress to voting on private health insurance. That is good. We have an army with low org. That's just due to the ammo thing again. These companies should be, these businesses should be ramping up production. Not sure why we can't hire in Lazio, but that should be able to sort itself out, because there's a lot of demand for ammo right now on account of the war. We need about 300 more, but our munitions industry is at about half capacity, so that shouldn't be a problem to produce enough for it to be fine. And indeed, here we see they are hiring more and producing more ammunition, so I'm not worried about that one bit. I am monopolizing these. Hey, rubber mastication. Excellent. These two are owned by financial districts. Alright, well, we're doing our best. So, I noticed that our wheat farms are unprofitable, and that's not ideal. So, let's take a look at our market before we get too far with this business. Wheat. Wheat is very cheap. We are not exporting any. Or grain. Grain is very cheap and we're not exporting any. Some of them are producing fruit, undoubtedly. That's pretty cheap and we're not exporting any of that. But let's take a quick look at the world market. The only other item is sugar, which we should look at. We are importing some, which is curious. Let's take a look at the world market, though, and look at those goods. Grain is pretty affordable on the world market. Fruit is... Sugar is very affordable on the world market. Alright, there's tons of people exporting sugar. And then fruit... Where's fruit? Am I McFreakin' losing it? Okay, here we go. Fruit is kind of different. Alright, so I think I'm going to go ahead and subvene fruit. I think that just makes sense. And that will allow us to be more competitive on the world market, and that will be good for our farms. That'll make them more competitive. We got steam donkey spreading, which is very, very good. I've immediately forgotten what technology it was that we just had spread to us. Oh. The Prussians are going after the Danes. But for what? They want to steal Schleswig-Holstein. They want to steal Schleswig-Holstein. Interesting. Who is leaning where? We have Schleswig. Well, that's not shocking. British not going to step in. French not going to step in. Russians likely to step in on the part of the Prussians, which is an interesting possibility. Austrians more likely to side with the Danes. Belgians likely to stay out. USA likely to stay out. USA fully mobilized. What are you currently doing? You're fighting Mexico. Alright, and have a lot of infamy about it. So that's interesting. I'm going to keep an eye on this and see if it starts to spiral out of control. If it does, maybe we'll get involved. And if it doesn't, then we'll be just fine. All my armies are where they need to be, it seems like. So, that should go just fine. Liking the fleet setup here. I think I do want to queue in the addition of a few more. It looks like this isn't going to go anywhere, so I'm not going to get involved. I think I want to queue in the creation of a few more light ships. Hey, there's modern nursing. Wonderful. I'll put those in Tuscany. 2 arms, and then a few more capital ships. I like round numbers. Yeah, this will put us at 40 and 35, and that should be fine with whatever happens. We are on advance, are we not? Looks like we are. So we should be getting into battles shortly, based on this little ticker here. And once you know it, here's a fight. Their defense is really, really low. Are they using, like, irregular infantry or something? No. Okay, Denmark backs down. They are using irregular infantry. Wow. That's not great, Switzerland. It's a good thing I came along and offered you my protection freely and with no strings attached. Definitely not taking over your territory. Supporting the Belgian workers. We will support the workers in Belgium, boosting the power of their trade unions. Maybe we believe in the international cause of the working man, maybe we don't. In the end, it doesn't matter. What matters is that the Belgian trade unions get stronger. Belgium is a constitutional monarchy under the petite bourgeoisie, devout, and armed forces. An excellent idea. Option 1, they get stronger. Or, this would be ill-advised, they get weaker. I think this is our trade unions. I'm going to strengthen our trade unions. That's just fine. And there's private health insurance. Beautiful. Now, the hard part. Well, first, let's let the thing finish. Beautiful. And now, we'll see what it looks like if we want to try to get to public. If we want to get to public, the industrialists are obviously going to try to stop us. The Catholic Church would be for it. But the industrialists would also be big mad? Seems that way. I can't imagine why. If I push the industrialists out of the government, then I get a reasonable government, and then I can use the Catholic Church to do this. Might be worth it. Don't want to have to do it like that. Okay, so their base approval is 5, so they should be... Well, I don't know. I got these. How much longer are these for? Can I should be able to see in my country modifiers. Perhaps in the industrialists screen modifiers. Here we go. 12 months and then 3 years. So maybe if we wait a year till November, they'll be happier. But if we wait until November, they'll be less happy about that whole the whole privatization thing, so maybe we just do it right now. I'm gonna go for it. It's gonna mean a lot of radicals, but it is what it is. Much better. Yeah, see, that's why I need the Catholic Church in the thing right now. Oh, they're big mad. They're the biggest mad it's ever been. Oh my goodness. Alright, Switzerland is with us. I'm going to go ahead and improve relations with them. And what else do we need to accomplish here? Transportation shortage in Lazio. Mentera Seta is losing prosperity. I don't love that. It's going down pretty fast from the popularity of Raffaele de Samorgnazi. But it's only going down to 90. So that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I have granted them monopoly rights. I haven't granted them industry rights over cotton plantations, and I'm not going to. I think that's potentially okay. Let me see. But let's check our market. Because we are producing a ton of delicious Como silk that everyone wants. We're not exporting that much of it. Although we are subvening it pretty hard. We could subvene it more, but I don't know that we're... Let's look at the world market for a minute. Oop, not kabams. That's for sure. There are a lot of people selling silk on the world market. That's a shame. That's a real shame. What about luxury clothes? Luxury clothes kind of same deal, unfortunately. Including us, we're selling a lot of... Yeah, look at that. We're selling so many luxury clothes on the... Yeah. Okay, so I think there's only so far we can take that plan. These railways are all in Lazio, so that's gonna finish and be sorted out pretty soon. Let's take another look at Zulu. Zulu is close to being willing to become a puppet, which is good. Switzerland is right around Midland for in terms of their desire to become free. They're currently aloof. We're improving relations with them, so that should get them feeling better about us within a reasonable time frame, at least. Relations with Spain are improving. Delicious water. Again, having Switzerland in our market is just generally really rock solid. I think they often have a problem with accessing the world market on account of they're big landlocked. Having access through here also gives us potentially the ability to snag some of these countries, which could be useful. Although I don't think our friends throughout the rest of Europe would be too happy about that. Oh my goodness, North German Federation got formed. Our relations are neutral with them. It's interesting. That debate failed. I wonder if... So this guy is a von Hohenzollern. And his son... No, these are the starting two... This is the starting guy for Prussia, I'm pretty sure. Friedrich Wilhelm. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what to make of that yet. Alright, beautiful. Getting our shipyards built. Things rough in Sicily. Is this due to Ooh, yeah, there's actually turmoil here. That's not ideal. And there's devastation. Alright, that's part of the issue. So the devastation is increasing mortality, and devastation doesn't reduce standard of living, which is interesting. Would have thought that would be the case, but we're heading rapidly towards our big construction plan in Sicily, and hopefully that'll solve some of those issues there. I am going to throw these military buildings at the top of the queue, just to get them knocked right out. Hey, there's gantry cranes. Wonderful. So this unlocks industrial ports for ports, steam trawlers for fishing wharves, and steam-powered whalers for whaling stations. I'm going to mostly start producing steamships. We've also got access to covered markets. That's going to use even more glass and steel instead of wood. Let's go ahead and do it. I know they think they won't be profitable, but they'll be producing more services, and that's good. So before we do this, where is our shipyards? Shipyards, here we go. So, let's get the ones in Abruzzo, Tuscany, and Sardinia, and Piedmont producing steamships, and then we'll get our entire fishing industry over to steam trawlers. We'll get our port industry over to industrial ports. And does that unlock a new method for trade centers? No, it does not. Not until floating harbor. Some of our trade centers are privatized. And for ports, some of them are subsidized. Ports are reasonably effective. That's curious. I'm not rightly sure how to judge the port situation. How much of our cash flow is going into port subsidies? Not that much. So I'm not too worried about it. There we go. I'm like, why is... This number doesn't look right. Ah, it's much better. There we go. Availability versus accessibility. A debate event. Pasquale Pallavicino, head of the Industrialists, has brought up in today's debate the concerns of healthcare potentially becoming more accessible but less available for those who already have it. What do you think will happen? You can't seriously expect availability to be unaffected if we open up the accessibility to the public. People will be waiting days, weeks, or even months for a chance to see a doctor. How will we prioritize different conditions versus the amount of time people have waited for? Their concerns are unwarranted. Industrialists mad, -4. 90% chance of increased enactment chance, 10% chance of huge increased enactment chance, or their concerns should be considered. Industrialists happy, reduce enactment chance. I'm going to go with the first one. We got the 20%, so that's pretty alright. We're at 30% with a 24% debate chance, so I'm feeling actually a lot better about this, even though we've made our industrialists the biggest mad it's ever been. They are trying to avoid paying taxes, but, you know, in other news, Pope's still Catholic. Let me see. We're working on other stuff. So I think at the end of once we've completed our big industrial expansion in Sicily, and then take another look at other stuff, we've finished our glassworks. So I'm going to swap a few more of our construction sectors over to steel frame. Do I want to do the remaining 5 levels? I think I do. Because that's going to make our construction sector extremely efficient. I don't know why I did them one at a time this time. So final impact to the market. Steel is expensive. Fine. Glass is doing okay, though. It's not hugely expensive. Glass we are import tariffing. Okay. And steel we are... Let's set that to don't import me. Now, steel. We are bringing some steel in, but I don't necessarily want to be. So where can we build up steel that would be effective? It's really a question of where our iron and coal mines are. Iron mines are inefficient. Interesting. Let's take a quick look at that. Savoy, these mines are downsizing. That's wild to me. That's curious. Let's go ahead and... Well, obviously, we need more steel mills, so that's reasonable. Let's build up... So let's look at where we are. Does it make sense to build up locations where we have unproductive iron mines? Or does it make more sense to consolidate and locate? I think we continue to build up Sicily. We continue to build up Piedmont. We continue to build up Sardinia. And we continue to build up Lazio. And that's going to be a significant increase in the overall size of the steel sector, and that'll be just fine. We're in the big leagues now, because we got mega steel frame construction here. We are building military shipyards in Lazio. I think they're building ironclads. Yes, they are. Alright, beautiful. And the cost of ironclads is reasonably high due to us doing a bunch of Navy stuff. Now, I got a suggestion. Well, debate success. Wonderful. I got a suggestion to that concentrating the navies under a small number of commanders actually makes them more effective. These fellows are all pretty close to the same age. So let's grab this petite bourgeois Democrat, we'll give him a promotion, and we'll continue to promote these fellas as we go, rather than increasing their, rather than putting more fellas in. Oh, interesting. Hold on. The British and French are shooting at each other again. The French have got just their subjects, and the British have got the North German Federation and a smattering of other countries. What's this about? Oh my gosh, they're trying to steal a bunch of things. Look at all this. Quite curious. Alright. Which means it's a good time to do stuff. Gaza is low in liberty desire. So, let's go ahead and decrease their autonomy. Sorry, Zulu, not Gaza. It's not Gaza. I don't know why I keep thinking it's Gaza. It's not Gaza. But, now that we've done that, let's take a look at what it looks like if we seize a protectorate over Oranje. Only Transvaal's likely to step in? Let's do it. We'll just go ahead and send one army. I'm not really concerned about our ability to win this. Even a little bit, actually. Transvaal's liberty desire is still pretty high, actually. improved relations with them fully. Clout from lobby, political lobby interest groups and government. Interesting. What if we... It's pretty low cost to fund lobbies. I'm going to do it. Now... Our relations with Oranje are poor. I'm going to improve them a little bit before the war starts so that we're not completely on the back foot at a later point. Take a look at Marina Kingdom. They've also got interest groups that I could potentially influence through cash flow, which I think I'm going to do. So after this, where do we go? After this, where do we engage in military adventures while the French and British are shooting at each other instead? No one is going to step in to get Oranje's assistance. Britain would theoretically accept our assistance, but only with the transfer of Tunis, which I quite like Tunis. So I'm going to keep them. How are you doing, Switzerland? You still sore about being forced into being a protectorate? Thought so. I knew it. I knew it. Ooh, low standard of living in a lot of places, particularly Savoy. That's wild. I do have a mandate available, which I completely forgot about until just now. So, and I was going to look at these before the next session, and I plumb forgot. So, let's take a quick look at them now and see what's going to be good. Could do colonial offices. Those eventually lead to reduced infamy against unrecognized powers, which is nice. It could do police coordination. This provides a lot of extra authority, but only at the very top. Advanced research is generally speaking the best. Let's look at some ones I haven't tried yet. So what's transport infrastructure? Extra infrastructure and maximum infrastructure. That's very good, particularly for the small countries in our power block. Transport infrastructure 3 unlocks those electric trains, which are nice. I could do foreign investment though. Actually, I think foreign investment might be right. Increased leverage from economic dependence. I think that's right, because we want it to be a big trade powerhouse. And what that'll do is that'll allow us to be more effective at bringing countries into our block through investment. Ooh, but there's a companies bonus. Ew. Companies seems cool. This is a new one. Let's do this. Let's do companies. Let's have companies be our thing. Happily also, now that our power block is has got Switzerland in there, we're getting extra mandate progress, and that is very good. Come on, give me public health insurance. Insufficient healthcare support, a stall event. It has been brought to the government's attention that we might not have sufficient bureaucrats available for the establishment of a public healthcare system. The world does run on dreams and ideals. We have to face the facts. We need to sort this now before it becomes a problem when this becomes a law. Opening up the healthcare system to the public without being properly prepared could backfire as quickly as it could succeed. Push it through anyways, reduce enactment chance, or scrap what we can scrape what we can together. Okay, push it through anyways. 25% chance of minus 20% enactment chance, 75% chance of minus 10% enactment chance, or scrape what we can together. 15% penalty to bureaucracy, 20% chance of minus 10% enactment success chance, 80% chance of no effect. I'm going to do the second one. And we didn't lose enactment success chance, which is what's important. Let me take a quick look, because we are going to need more healthcare, more bureaucracy any way you slice it. So let's build up government admin. We'll do a couple in Tuscany because we're a little bit low there. We'll do a couple in Lazio because that's the capital. We'll do we're full in Piedmont. Let's build up Venezia some. Venezia has been neglected since they've been in the hands of the Austrians for a whole time period. I'm going to throw these in at the top of the queue. Even though I need the steel pretty badly, but it's fine. It's fine. We're doing what we gotta do. We're getting done what we want to get done. Let's see if Oranje makes us fight. Basuto is a country. Oh, Basuto is a decentralized country, so we don't have any ability to get involved in that necessarily. How's Switzerland's liberty desire? They've got to support independence. How much would it cost to support what's that thing? Can I not support interest groups with them? I guess not. Curious. Alright, so this should sort itself out reasonably quickly. Yeah, they just got line infantry and mobile artillery, so that shouldn't be too complicated for us to win. We still aren't in the producing stylish furniture game. We need to produce more furniture, but currently I think that's being sort of locked down by Britain and their friends. The popularity contest. So this is an election process now. The eyes of the electorate have turned to the candidates that seek to acquire a position at the head of government. As the election approaches, voters debate who would provide the best leadership for Italy. I quite like Darquet. Darquet, pointed mused one of the men at the bar. Couldn't say what it is I agree with him on, but I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. His neighbor spoke up. Enough to look past the company he keeps? Oh, why not? God knows you could say the same of any of us. Nobody's better to handle a fool than his friend. So, let's take a look at our election. We got the same election results planned out. Far left looks like it's going to grab a huge percentage of the vote. But the right's going to gain, and the Agrarian Party is going to lose quite a bit, which is interesting. Very interesting, in fact. Vittorio Darquet is the man of the hour. Extra popularity for him and momentum for the right. A term of Carlo Torelli is what the country needs. Extra momentum for him. And he gets popularity. Or Carcano Shipa has the character for the job. Extra momentum for him. So he's the head of the petite bourgeoisie, it looks like. What are his abilities? He's charismatic and experienced political orator. I wouldn't hurt to have him in the government. So let's hand it his way. Far left is still a solid party for us in terms of our overall goals, even though at present we are doing our level best to keep the right in the government. Are they going to get any votes? They're going to be about the same. Maybe I should have given it to them, but overall they don't really support our legislative agenda. Hey, there it is. Alright, so we'll start improving relations with Oranje once again. On account of we're trying to do this public healthcare thing. Come on, give me a success. Give me something good. Excellent. Thank you. 40% chance that keeps happening, so I'm feeling pretty optimistic overall. Still working on steel and whatnots. Though steel's a little bit down in price, which is nice. We are import tariffing that, so that's good. We're making a little bit on tariffs. Not that much, but a little. Ooh, rubber in Lorenzo Marquez. Excellent. Okay, so we have a source of rubber in our market now, which is good. We're bringing in a lot of fine art. That's curious. Let's do a little bit of protectionism on our fine art scene. Italy should be exporting art to the world, as 'twas during our, Wait, do we not even own the arts academies? That's extremely funny. Italy should have arts academies. DeGenCat demands it. The best defense. Our neighbors in France have become known for their ruthless foreign policy, a concern that the right has raised in their election campaign. promising to be harsher in turn to deter aggression. The suggestion has been brought to me that our diplomats study more languages to facilitate connections around the world. That is all well and good, but we all know that there is only one language that a French brute understands. They don't teach it in the universities, but we better be ready to speak it if we want the border to stay where it is. The French menace must be deterred. Extra momentum to the right deteriorates relations with France, or they're just looking for a target for their posturing, salty armed forces. I'm going to go with the second one. I think the French are belligerent again. Well, gosh dang it. Why are our relations so bad? Dagnabbit. Ooh, civilizing mission. Excellent. That gets us more interests. And we got a few that we're not using. Let's declare one in Southeast Asia, and let's declare one in Japan. Maybe we'll be able to get up to something in Japan sometime. Empire of Japan does owe us an obligation. Interesting. There's an event that causes that, so that's a thing that can happen. So it's not necessarily strange. We got socialism spreading. Rubber in North Madagascar. Alright. So we're starting to really get rubber in the market, which is good. Because rubber is needed for the future. We're a little bit short on engines, so we should expand some of our engine industry. Law of progressive voting, heck yes. That having been said, let's wait for the rest of our interests to activate here. Alright. Beautiful. That having been said, that is all the time we've got for this episode, my nerds. I have had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.